Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Rage Bait Starter Homes. On our first episode, we took a little jab at the booms, right? And some people said, "Hey man, don't blame the booms for where we're at." And that maybe is up for debate. Another thing people brought up was, of course, you're not going to get anything livable in a big city for 250 grand, and that is the point. But in making that video, we all had the pleasure of discovering a church for sale that you could live in. And it got me thinking, well, we could assume that for, 250 grand, 500 grand, you don't really have a livable space in a big city, of course. But it made me wonder, how many more weird-ass homes can you feasibly buy in remote parts of America? And so we did a little deep dive, and we pulled some weird ones. It also made me realize what people's inspirations are when they look at a living space. I think a lot of us maybe are the same in that when we think of a place to live, we're just thinking of straightforward amenities, a place to watch TV, a place to bed rot, a place to be on a computer. Basically, enough places to be looking at screens. But when you look at what's available out there in the hidden parts of America, you start to realize you can get a home with many rooms, and you can have a screen in all of those rooms, which is the dream. Now let me quit bullshitting you. If I were to put on my best realtor outfit, if you were wanting to live in the house of God, but maybe, doing it all the way in Iowa, it was just not in the cards for you, what about Lerna, Illinois? Man, get a look at this. This reminds me, there is a club in Melbourne, Straya, that used to be a church and was converted to a club. People used to find ecstasy through prayer. Now people find ecstasy through a dude named Prayer.
That's funny, yo.
Now this house, because it is a house and it is for sale, it does look like it should be on the side of butter packaging. Or perhaps an obscure raw milk brand in Whole Foods, maybe. What would you wager, as I go through these images, the cost of this place? You might be holding a number in your mind now, but you haven't even seen the inside. So let's have a look at the inside before you formulate your opinion. Obviously, we have this wonderful brick structure, which actually is better than steel. Brick is the preferred building material. 9/11 would not have happened if, just stepping into the entryway, I would not have thought that this was a church previously. And that's probably because I grew up Catholic, and Catholic churches are intentionally very depressing and boring depending where you live. I'm not going to say all of them, but most of them. Lovely drab restaurant interior blue to kind of set the tone here. Love the marble features. Can't get rid of those. Those are worth some cash. And look at this. We have an open floor concept. If you took this same exact living space and you put it in New York, $50 million. Your grandfather would have needed to purchase crypto to achieve a room like this in New York, but it's ready and available for you now in Lerna, Illinois. The great part is it's so open, I don't even have to give you the tour. You can see the whole place right now. I love that there's no closet either. It's just an old clothing rack from Nordstrom, which is likely to go belly up and bankrupt thanks to private equity. Woo! Stained glass is sick. Very sick. Weird that, something I never thought about. I never took a shit in church. Never did that. That was a missed opportunity. I don't really frequent the church these days, but maybe I'll pop in, catch a sermon, maybe a gospel or two, and pinch one. Speaking of pinching one off in church, if you have more than 2 hemorrhoids, the medical phrase for that is crown of thorns. The more you know. This church does not hold a candle to that one we saw in the last video. It's honestly kind of a letdown. I'm also surprised anyone could live in this. This is a really creepy setup. I don't know how you do it. Maybe it's the amount of property you have. Got all that green space. Places to exist. I tell you what, you can definitely put a ton of screens in here, and you can be on screens literally anywhere in here. I wonder if the crucifix was up there before they moved in, whoever lives here. That must have been a weird thing when they walked in. The realtor goes, well, we left it. And he goes, just take it. Just knock it down. I know me personally, I wouldn't want to be the one to knock down religious structures of any kind. I don't want that on my hands. For some reason, it feels like something bad's going to happen to you. Another thing, people talk about Big Brother. in the context of how we live, I think living in here would be peak Big Brother vibes. I'd be afraid to smoke a cigarette. I'd be afraid to curse in this house. Even just watching TV. I'd be looking around if people are kissing a little too much, someone gets stabbed crazy. And that's probably because, I haven't read too much of the Bible. In Catholic Church, they try to read it to you, but they read it just so damn boring you can't remember any of it. It's impossible. But enough about me. If we're looking at the space, it's a decent-sized space. For a church, I honestly was expecting more. Again, the one in Iowa kind of spoiled me. It does have in-unit washer and dryer, and that's something. This thing in the corner, I don't know if this is a confessional booth, or maybe that's where a priest used to sit, organ player. I don't know. It does have a basement. I'll say this, if you're an enterprising person and you want to pick up this home, this basement, rough to live in, but this space has a dive bar? A1. Earlier I said I want you to estimate how much you think this beautiful brick church is worth. Now it's out there in Lerna, Illinois. Deep out there. Whatever number you're guessing right now, it's wrong. $125,000. And that's as of a couple weeks ago. If you want to buy a house that potentially has spirits and confessions and all kinds of things, and allow that stuff to bake into your soul for the low, low price of $125,000, it's all yours.
Hey, guys, I'm very excited to tell you something. This has nothing to do with tour. If you've been following me for a while, you know I like to get in my director bag, and I'm happy to say I've made another short film. And I'm not going to yap about it, I'm just going to show you the trailer.
Welcome back to Burke and Connor Make a Podcast.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys, welcome back to Burke and Connor Make a Podcast.
Do you think he'd come for us? Why would you even put that out there?
Maya, what if we get killed?
We're not gonna get killed. True.
So yeah, Podcasters Must Die. It's a lot of fun. I'm releasing it on TMG Studios because it's too gory for YouTube. I actually hit up my YouTube rep and they said, hey, you can't put holes in people like that. So you can see the full director's cut this week on tmgstudios.tv. So go check that out and enjoy the rest of this video. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next property, I want to give you a glimpse into the future. As technology progresses, and the desire to go outside lessens and lessens, and it just frankly becomes more and more expensive to do so, there's going to be a wonderful type of property that becomes increasingly more available as less people are using it. What are you thinking? School. Have you ever wanted to live in a school? Well, now you can. I present to you a beautiful school at 501 School Street in Pawnee Rock, Kansas. Why does that sound like patois? I'm not even going to do it. I'll let you think it, but I'm not going to.
6 bomber ass clot, pussy bomber blood clot head.
In a typical Kansas fashion, they have the state motto right there at the front of the building. Praise Ranch. Praise be to ranch. Lord, take me through that hidden valley. Take me through that hidden valley to French fries, onion rings, and pizza. Again, I want you to imagine how much you think this school is worth in Pawnee Rock, Kansas. Woof. Dude, you could only dream of having an entryway like that. Have you ever wanted an entryway where 300 people could take their shoes off? Now, this is going to get weird because this is probably lived in at the moment. Got some books. Wonder if those came with. Pre-installed. They got birds in there. Birds already off-putting for me. It's taking the value down because I know it's a little stinky in there. Also, what a terrible spot for a TV. These are people who do not care about television. What the fuck? Yeah, man, let me get the TV at the highest point on the wall and put the couch directly beneath it. I also like how they got this person trying to change the channel. By the way, I know I just took a jab at the bird people, and that doesn't come from a place of ignorance. My family had a bird, and we lasted about a week. God bless those birds. We had 2 of them. God bless them. Cute little things. Them motherfuckers could not shut up. All right. And we were feeding them. We were doing all the right things, but they could not stop talking. I don't know what universe we thought that we were going to bring home birds and they were going to be more cat-like. Also pretty stupid of us to take an animal that flies, put it in a cage, and then give it someone else to talk to. We took 2 birds and we put them in solitary, max. and we got mad that they couldn't shut up. Anyways, they're free now. We just threw them out in the backyard. Nah, JK, we gave them back to the pet store. Back to this wonderful house. We have this lovely, I don't even know what this used to be. It's hard to tell. I really wonder how many people are living here or were living here. They're probably dead. Let's just imagine that they all died and this place went up for sale. We'll just imagine that they were a cult and they ended it. Holy shit. This had to have been a cult. Eating like this? They had a head at the table? Is either a cult or one of those horny dads that goes, hey, we need to have 47 children. And not for any religious reason, not for any other reason than he just needs it, personally. He needs to procreate.
I need that. You understand? I need that, and I'll suck on your ass like a goddamn neck bone, bitch, but I need that. I want.
I like this Elden Ring study going on. The only way I know I could personally live here, the circumstance would have to be forceful. I could not voluntarily live here. Anyways, I'm not selling this house very well. Look, you have this wonderful dining room table that you can all convene at after you behead someone for speaking against you, assuming you're the owner of the place. Again, you have this lovely rec room with a bunch of cups. They're different colors, so you can assign them to whoever lives in the house. You know, Stacy gets yellow cups, Brad gets blue cups, Travis gets red cups, and David gets no cups. He must drink water with his hands. We have this lovely kitchen, industrial-sized kitchen. That's pretty nice. If I do say so myself, I like a large cooking area. I don't have it, but I dream of it. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this property. It's clearly these rooms are so big, you can have the playground inside. I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at over here. They got a seesaw in the living room. Obviously, we have one of 32 bedrooms. This is Anna's bedroom, clearly. I'm getting really creepy vibes because a lot of this furniture feels donated. Also, psychotic bathroom setup. Queuing up for the duo shits. Are you kidding me, man? Where are we dropping boys for real? Holding hands next to your partner while you both drop one? No, thank you. This is my nightmare. Babe, take a shit with me. Even if you don't have to shit, sit with me. The size of these rooms is haunting, dude. They got like 25 people per room, dog. I don't like it. You know, I'm a traditional capitalist. I think everyone should have their own room to be on a screen. I know I should be talking about the actual space, but I can't not comment on it. Clearly, the design of the home doesn't vary much from just a bunch of empty rooms, but dude, this is a miserable way to hang out. Apart from a movie theater, when do you ever want to watch media with 15 other people? What am I saying? I love having 25 people at my house to watch White Lotus. Who am I kidding? It's basically how you would design your first home when you play The Sims. No walls, no nothing. Just putting shit everywhere and then a baby burning in the bathroom. Now, if you could just do away with maybe the creepy vibe of all the rooms and the design of this school, how much would you estimate that this school, Praise Ranch, is worth in Pawnee, Kansas? If you were thinking $50,000, you'd be incorrect. This place is worth $400,000 and it's 10,000 square feet. And honestly, it's only a 6-bedroom. It's got 10 bathrooms, but I'm questioning that number because how are they counting bathrooms? They put in 2 toilets per bathroom and telling us that's 2? When I look at the size of this county, I would assume that everyone's just gone to school. It's kind of a weird thing when your entire community is just done with school. And then you all look around and they say, well, someone want it? And the only kids left in town just live in the school. And I guess maybe you're just, at that point, is it homeschooling or is it just home? You know, I am curious about the homes on Cunfee Avenue. Let's have a look at this. For the low price of $26,000, dude, these are medieval prices. This ain't even 1940s. This is 1700s prices on homes. You get 2 dead bodies hanging in the front. That's great. You basically get to live in, I think, what used to be a room at the church, and they chopped it and they hauled it away on a truck bed and they set it up here. Ooh, this attic? Man, look, I'm sure the people of this town are very nice, but your living spaces, fuck that. And some of you might be watching from a small town. I don't have anything against you living in a small town. I'm saying you have more resolve than I do. Unfortunately, my mind is so like media poisoned that I can't not see these places as haunted. I'm sure they're fine to live in, but they freak me out because I'm soft and I'm from a big city. But hey, man, next time you want to bitch about housing prices, you haven't given Pawnee Rock a chance. For $22,000, you can live in a town that has probably little to no infrastructure, no federal support, no nearby hospital, but you would have your own place to live. And most importantly, you could be on a screen. I'm laughing because I got a glimpse at our next property, and the description took the words right out of my mouth. When you think of 2 words to describe your perfect home, what do you imagine? Take a moment. What do you imagine? Just collect them in your head. And I guarantee, I'm a magician, I guarantee I'll take the words right out of your mouth. Ready? Dude perfect. Let me present to you the Dude Perfect living quarters. Out in Alabama, you can live like Dude Perfect, and that is a legitimate pitch. Now you walk into this place and it has a lovely basketball court accompanied by a 75-foot cornhole run. And that's not another innuendo or a pun. That is just the truth. That's what you're getting up over here. I like how it's set up for a small audience of 8. It's everyone in your family. It's grandpa. Grandma is, she passed away. It's grandpa in the recliner, mom and dad on the love seat, brother in the wooden chair, and then all the young ones. We're not really sure who or where they came from. Some of them just crawled in here and we just took them in. Now, connected to this lovely gymnasium is this room. This is a nice large room to perpetually renovate or lock someone inside of. What you choose between those two is entirely up to you, but the space is fit for both. This place was clearly supposed to be a Dave & Buster's or some type of entertainment, business. And it probably just never saw the light of day and just ended up being a guy living in there going, well, I wanted to invite everyone over to play, cornhole and stuff, but then I said that weird thing at the big Christmas tree event. Everyone they don't want to hang out with me because apparently I was too mean. I love this property. I wish I could just have it not in Alabama. How much do you think the Dude Perfect house is? Think about it for a second. $325,000. That's the price. Now, when you clicked to watch this video, I know what was on your mind. You said, Noel, quit fucking with me, dude. Stop showing me these churches. Stop showing me these affordable houses in random parts of the world. Show me the scariest possible place I could live in. Show me a place that I could buy where I could just shit myself every second of my existence in that place, and I have it for you. Let me take you through a lovely 60,000 square foot living space that is available right now in West Virginia. Folks, I want to start you from a sniper's view of the home. Yes. Was this a former insane asylum? We don't know yet. Let's find out. As we make our way down to the property, it's starting to look more and more like this is where they put people who would sleepwalk in 1920. As we make our way into the property, you will notice there are a bunch of places to park, very long driveways. There's even a loading bay for when friends and family come over. We even have the handprints of people who have tried to escape in previous years. Their bodies are beneath the building. Huge parking lot around the side of the home. Wonderful outdoor deck, great for parties, bingo nights, barbecues, you name it. If you can convince anyone to come out for anything, this is a great space to have. But that's enough of the outside. Let's have a look at the inside. We have a lovely 8x8 bedroom. The window's fake. I know it appears real, it's actually wallpaper. There's only 9 rooms with windows, and they're very small. We took what used to be a full classroom, and we cut it in half, and we made it a very personal classroom. The idea is there's nowhere else to look except the chalkboard. Now, if you're looking at this going, no, well, the house isn't that scary, I want you to stop right there. I want you to stop right there. There you have it. The post-lobotomy ward. Now, if you thought this room was creepy, guess what? There's 2 of them. Now, here's the best part is, you got these 2 rooms and you got about 12 to 14 beds. There's another room with a bunch of beds in it. So this place obviously has the 3 different rooms with a bunch of beds in it. When they built this building, they actually included a fourth room with a bunch of beds in it. And I believe it just keeps going. Yep. You can have a lot of people sleep in here. Here they have a kitchen. And in this kitchen is where they dismember you and your entire family. Also, all these turkey hands on the wall. Man, everything about this place, completely terrifying. Bro, all the writings on the walls. I don't like it. And if you were thinking, because we're about 46 pictures in, you were thinking, man, there can be another room full of beds. Yes, there can. Yes, there can. And another one, dude, it just totally fucking doesn't stop. I'm not gonna lie, in real time, I'm recognizing that I'm mad that I've looked at any of these images. I don't know what this will do to me going forward. Any of the 1,000-year-old spirits living in these images, I have love and respect for you. Please just let me live a normal life. Amen. In your mind, how much would you value 60,000 square feet of shit in your pants terrifying? If you said $1 million, you'd be incorrect. It's $299,000. Now, before I go, all right, if none of those properties interested you, maybe I could pique you with this. You're used to homes being square, beams, walls, very sort of geometric. What if I could offer you a chance to live in a giant elephant turd? Check out this sweet earth home in Vermont. I call it an elephant turd. It's not that at all. It's actually quite beautiful. You'd be living in a Star Wars base if I had to accurately describe this place. Houses like this are extremely impressive to me. I don't think I have the I don't know what you would call it, but the drive or the natural will to live in a space like this, but I find them to be very cool. I will have no bad things to say about this place because to build something of this scale is impressive. It takes so much commitment, and I say this as a professional contractor. Yeah, to make a home like this, it just takes time. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's not unreachable. Really, you just have to find a big rock in the middle of nowhere and just go at it with a chainsaw. Whoever lives in here lives in a bat cave. And it takes so much resolve. This is probably how we're supposed to live. I know Andrew Huberman is saying somewhere that this is how we're actually supposed to live and 5G is bad for us or some shit like that. But after having a living space where I'm screen maxed 5 screens at any given time, I couldn't do it. But maybe it's for you. I'm sitting here chatting shit about this thing being made of rock, but it's actually made of mud. Incredible. It says it needs to be restored. But I can't even talk bad on the guy who made this because holy, he dedicated his life to making this. And it's kind of beautiful when someone commits to something like that. You can live in the Vermont mud home for the low price of $220,000. So don't ever say boomers didn't do anything for you. And don't ever say boomers didn't leave you with a little something for yourself. Because here they are, they're giving it up to you, a mud house for $220,000. And you just don't want to take it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this fucking edition of some Rage Bait starter homes. I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.